Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
And that's right, everybody. Welcome once again to another edition of the Best Seat in the House podcast. I'm your host, Rob Cramer, alongside my co-host, Daniel Bobo Kurlan, who is live on the scene at Citi Field right now for the Mets-Giants game, Game 3 today. Dan, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great. We're behind 4-0, but I have a feeling we're going to mount off a comeback, hopefully.
I think you're right. The way this team's going so far this year, we can't be too upset with them being down right now. They were down 4-1 in Game 1 yesterday, and they came back. So let's keep the faith. I think our Mets will make us very happy by the end of today. And even if they don't, we always have tomorrow. But Dan, we got a lot to cover today, as in this episode we're being joined by none other than Kevin Knight of the IWF, the Master of Chaos. Fantastic guest for us. He'll be on with us in a couple of minutes. Really, really excited for this event they have going. What can you tell us about that?
I'm very excited about this event. It's for a great cause. It's actually for a Nutley Rally for Life. Great cause for cancer research. Fuck you, cancer. Lost too many good people to cancer. I'm actually gonna be in the audience of that event on Saturday. Also, you got a little treat on Saturday's event. Eastside Davis challenging Mr. USA Tony Atlas to a muscle pose off.
That's right, and that is going to be just an awesome scene for all of us. Mr. USA Tony Atlas, WWE Hall of Famer, former WWF Tag Team Champion. Really, really, really great guy. He was on the show about a decade ago, Legends House on the WWE Network. So really, really interesting opponent for our friend Eastside Dave. Dave, he's got that losing streak going right now, and we're hoping he can break it. The odds are against him right now, in all fairness to Mr. Tony Atlas, but I think Dave has the ability to get that job done. What do you think, Dan?
I think he has the ability to pull off that upset. We're gonna see upset special on the show later on a Saturday.
Absolutely. A lot of great action to be had at this IWF Rally for Life. Their Loud and Proud event. They've been doing this for over 20 years now, so definitely go out and get your tickets if you haven't got them already. They're just about sold out. They might be right. Are they sold out yet, Dan? Do you know?
I think they might be near sold out. I know they sold a lot. They usually sell out. So they might be sold out by the time anyone's watching it. They might not be, but if there are tickets left, if you get your tickets now, if there's tickets left while you're watching it, it's definitely worth it. I'm very pumped to be attending this on Saturday.
Absolutely. And obviously, another friend of ours, Big A, is going to be there taking the pictures. The organist Roy Harder is going to be there. Bobo's going to be there. Eastside Dave, Kevin Knight, just all the great people from IWF. So do yourself a favor. If you're anywhere near Nutley, New Jersey on this Saturday, like I said, do yourself a favor and go check this event out. Not only are you going to get great entertainment, but you're going to get to help, this great organization fight cancer. Just like Bobo said, fuck cancer. We've all had somebody in our life that has had to deal with this awful disease, and these guys are doing all they can to help fight it. But before we get joined by Kevin Knight, Dan, let's chat real quick. I know we'll save the Mets to discuss with Kevin, because I know he's a big Mets fan too. But let's talk about our New York Rangers for a second, Dan. How really, really great stuff out of this team. Igor Shesterkin looks like he's in top form right now. How you feeling about our Rangers right off the bat, man?
I have a feeling this is going to be an exciting playoff. I mean, Igor looks like he's finally gotten in that zone. Like he's already ready to amp this up. This is a tune up for the playoffs.
Oh, no doubt about it.
And if you like what you're seeing now, oh boy, you're gonna really enjoy the playoff hockey. I can't wait for it. I'm ready to put away my razor for a lengthy playoff run because you won't see this face for most of the playoffs. I'll be growing a playoff beard. Let's put it this way.
Exactly, man. And hopefully we'll all be having our playoff beards going. Obviously, I got mine, a little jump start on it already, but let's hope we got playoff beards going well into June, because that means our Rangers are on a hell of a run right now. Like I said, we're going to be being joined by Kevin Knight in a moment, but he's going to be joining us very shortly, and we have a lot to get to today. Obviously, the IWF, obviously the Mets. We're going to cover the Rangers, a little deeper now. Chris Kreider and his 50 goals. The Mika Zibanejad looking great out there. What are you going into the playoffs right now? What's the aside from Igor looking in tip-top shape again, what are you most excited about seeing from this Ranger team?
I'm excited to see maybe Kreider and Panarin really I think they're going to have a monster playoffs, and they're going to play a big factor in how far we go in this playoffs.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, if Chris Kreider and Mika Zibanejad come out and lay an egg, right out of the gate here against, most likely, it looks like we're going to be facing Pittsburgh in this first round. The Rangers have just about nailed down the number 1 seed, and we're going to have a really fun playoff run if Kreider and Mika Zibanejad's regular seasons translate to postseason success as well, because they're going to have to be, the power play is going to have to be just as deadly as it's been in the regular season. Everything else. The penalty kill has been a top 10 unit all season. The power play has been a top 5 unit all season, for even a lot of it top 2. So, there's a lot to be positive about going into this. What about Gerard Gallant taking this team on the first playoff run? What's your confidence level in Coach Gallant?
I have great confidence in Coach Gallant. This guy, he has plenty of playoff experience. He took a team in the Las Vegas Golden Knights that had literally no expectations, all right? No one usually expects a brand new team, their first year of existence. No one expects anything. He got that team to a Stanley Cup Finals. If I think I'm correct, he got the Golden Knights playoffs every one of his years as coach there.
Very true. Very true. And I mean, I think his tenure there ended sooner than it should have. I think they really, ownership got a little too wound up by their fan base, and they ended up getting rid of him a little bit early. But we've seen what's happened to that team since then. They had a decent playoff run last year, but they're on the brink this year. They might not be making it. So I do agree with you, though. I have total confidence in Coach Gallant and everything going on with the Rangers right now. So I'm so happy that this team is back. This is they won 50 games now, just the 5th 50-win season in the team's history, the first since the 2015 season ended. Just a lot to be positive about right now. And I just wanted to touch on the Rangers real quick, because we're definitely going to be getting into them a lot more in the coming weeks when their playoffs start. Right now we're still in the time period right now where they're just kind of playing out the schedule, just trying to see where everything falls. So I wanted to recap the Rangers real quick. Obviously, we're thrilled with that. As for the the NFL draft next week, the draft is if when you're seeing this, the draft is a week from today. So just really, really cool that we're going to be putting out our Best Seat in the House podcast mock draft next week, which means next Wednesday night when we're recording this show, we'll be doing our mock draft. We're going to do the top 10 picks. I'm going to be the Jets general manager. Daniel, you're going to be the Giants general manager. We're going to have 4 picks between the two of us. We're just going to go with, whatever the consensus is that the other teams are going to pick in the top 10. But it's going to be pretty fun to do that. Are you excited about being in the Giants GM chair there for a couple of minutes?
I'm excited about being in that chair in the Meadowlands for a week.
Exactly. I mean, it's gonna be really cool. We just got to keep our fingers crossed that our teams hit a couple of home runs with these 4 picks they got. But that's going to be a really cool thing to do next week. We're going to have all the bells and whistles of the NFL draft. So we hope you enjoy that. We're looking forward to putting that together for you. And before we're joined by Kevin here, let's do a quick little plug for our social medias. Dan, what's your social medias?
You can follow me on Twitter on Bobo103NYC and on Instagram Bobo718DK, and it's Daniel Kurlan, one word on YouTube. Just it's Daniel Kurlan on YouTube.
All right, very cool. And for me, obviously, I'm Rob Cramer. You can follow me on Twitter at my last name Cramer. That's CramerNY. You can follow the show on Twitter at BSith. That's BSITH _podcast. You can check that out. Check all of our fun things we got going out. Also on Instagram, it's at Best Seat in the House podcast. So check that out. And we got a lot of fun things going on. So keep interacting with us. And we're going to try to have as much fun as we can with this thing. So with that, we're going to be joined by the great Kevin Knight in a matter of moments. Thanks for sticking with us. All right, and now we're being joined by the great Kevin Knight, the master of chaos, here to promote the IWF Loud and Proud event, the 25th anniversary, this coming up Saturday night. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me on the podcast. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. And obviously on Saturday, there's so many great matches. Obviously, you're going to be defending the Tag Team Championship. You're going to have Eastside Dave going against Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. So many great matches going on right now. What are you most looking forward to this Saturday?
I think you said it. I want to see Eastside Dave get publicly embarrassed and humiliated when he takes on WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, in a bodybuilding pose down. Now, I know that Dave went out and hired a personal trainer and bodybuilding coach, and this guy, Vin, the bodyguard, is going to act as, Dave's muscle at the event. So I just hope Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, has eyes in the front, back, and sides of his head to keep an eye on Dave and his muscle, Vin, this Saturday night.
You got that right. And I mean, Dave is definitely up against it right now because Tony Atlas, he's got the body of a Greek god. And this guy is a WWE Hall of Famer, a former tag team champion. So it's going to be really, really fun to see what tricks Dave has up his sleeve right now.
And all these years later, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas still looks phenomenal. He goes to the gym, I believe, 5 or 6 days a week. So this is going to be the first time he's appearing in the North Jersey area. So hopefully the fans come out and take a picture with him and get his autograph during the event.
Very true. Very true. And if you want to attend the event, check out tickets on campiwf.com. Please, not only are you doing yourself a favor by going to see this great event and these amazing performers, but you're helping a great cause. And Kevin, what is that cause that everybody's helping for this event?
Each year, our anniversary event benefits American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. Last year's event, we raised, I believe it was $6,300 some odd dollars for American Cancer Society. So we hope to equal that number again this year. So it's all for a great cause. We take a beating and kick each other's asses and beat each other up, all in the name of charity. So that's what's going to be going on this Saturday in Nutley, 25th anniversary of the IWF. So it's going to be a great card.
I'm excited about it. I will be there in the audience as well. And I actually donated myself. And I myself have got to say, I've lost too many great people to cancer, including my own father. When I was 4 years old, he died of pancreatic cancer, my dad.
Exactly. So this is something that's near and dear to everybody's hearts. I mean, everybody has been touched by cancer, one way or another.
You said it, Rob. Yeah, we've all known a loved one or relative, parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, neighbor that's been affected by this dreadful disease. So we're doing as much as we can to help raise money for American Cancer Society for research. So hopefully one day they continue with medications and treatments, and hopefully one day the world will be cancer free.
No doubt about it. And with great people like Kevin Knight and the IWF and everybody just pitching in and trying to lend a hand in some way, I think one day we're going to get there. No doubt about that. At this event too, you're going to be one of the stars in the audience too, with Daniel Bobo Kurlan's going to be out there at Nutley, New Jersey. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I know obviously Eastside Dave is going to be there. He's competing. Big A is going to be out there taking pictures. Is Roy Harder, the organist, going to be there?
Roy Harder is on a family vacation in Ireland, so he will be missing this event again. Same thing when we did our anniversary event last year. Roy was in Ireland and missed it. But as you said, Big A, Andrew Gold, our photographer, and he's one of the contributors to the Eastside Dave show. And Daniel Kurlan's going to be there. Andrew and Daniel and Eastside Dave have been with us, I believe, for about 5 or 6 years now. So it's always great to have them in the audience supporting us. And yeah, not so great to have Eastside Dave in the ring, but it will be a treat for everybody to see Dave get slapped around New Jersey this Saturday night.
You got that right. And he's going to be trying, Eastside Dave is going to be trying to end that losing streak of his right now. I don't really like his chances.
I believe he's in matches that he's wrestled and wrestlers that he's managed, where he's been the coach at ringside. I believe Dave is 0-12. So maybe instead of Dave hiring a bodyguard and personal trainer to get him through this bodybuilding pose down against Tony Atlas, maybe Dave should hire Buck Showalter for some life advice and coaching advice when it comes to athletics. He's done wonders for the Mets, so Eastside Dave might want to give Showalter a call.
You got that right, and maybe that's a little reason with Buck not being with the Mets today. Maybe that's why they're down. But speaking about Eastside Dave though too, I love, he might not be the best in the ring yet, at least, but I love the commentary he provides on IWF matches, as he has done a great job. They used to have when the Eastside Dave show was weekly at Compound Media, they'd have the matches that they'd call at least once a month. And it was a lot of fun watching that, hearing his and Roy's commentary on so many great matches. And now he's doing it for 95.9 The Rad in New Jersey, right?
That's right. You could just go to the WRAT YouTube page. It's Rat Radio, best rock station on the East Coast, out of Belmar and Point Pleasant, New Jersey. And once a month, the IWF highlighted match will be featured on there with commentary, again, from Eastside Dave and Roy Harder. So it used to be on Compound Media. Now you can watch it on WRAT YouTube channel. and check it out. And I believe it's going to be the first of each month. A new match goes up. So right now we're doing the matches from North Arlington, New Jersey. Then coming up soon, the matches that are going to take place at IWF 25th anniversary this Saturday. If you can't make it to the event, it's almost sold out. You can watch those matches on the WRAT YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
And I have my alerts on my phone set to alert me every time a new one shows up.
Yes. Do yourself a favor and subscribe to that, so you know every time it comes up. Kevin said the first of the month it's going to be going up there. So absolutely, you know that this event's going to sell out. So do yourself a favor and get these tickets as quickly as possible. You've only got another day or two to purchase tickets. And you know, Kevin, while we have you here too, I know you're a big Mets fan. So what are you liking so far from this team? They're off to a great start, 9-3 so far under Buck Showalter. How are you feeling about this Mets team so far?
Well, the Mets finally have competent ownership for the first time since I've been alive, that we have an owner that wants to win, wants to spend money in the right places with the general manager, the team president, the manager, the analytic department, and the correct ball players. I mean, we haven't had a decent manager. I like Terry Collins. I like when Terry Collins was the manager. But between Terry and Bobby Valentine, we haven't had a competent manager. Art Howe was a disaster. I never liked Willie Randolph. I didn't think he did a very good job. They got to the 2006 divisional series against the Cardinals with David Wright and
Jose Reyes. Mm-hmm.
And then Willie, was a disaster in 2007. And Jerry Manuel. Terry righted the ship, got the Mets to the World Series in 2015. And then since then, with Mickey Callaway and the Carlos Beltran debacle and Luis Rojas, we finally have great ownership. Mets have great general manager. Mets have a great manager. Mets have great players on the field. So I'm actually been watching the games this season without that sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach that some catastrophe is going to happen at any moment. So they're off to a great start so far this season, and hopefully it is a amazing, magical season for the Mets.
Oh, you got that right, Kevin. And obviously Dan is at the game tonight, so I think we're seeing too. Attendance is creeping up. Met fans, are very enthusiastic about this team right now, as they have every right to be. And,
yeah, I saw some of the doubleheader yesterday, and first game, obviously, not too many people there, but the nightcap last night with Max Scherzer pitched, place was pretty crowded for a 42-degree windy April night. So, and the weekend series too was very well attended. So there's definitely a lot of rejuvenation and enthusiasm as far as Mets fans. I know I definitely, have a different outlook on the team this season than in years past.
Oh yeah, you got that right. And it looked great on TV. It sounded great on the radio with all the people there. But Dan, you were there yesterday. How did it feel being in there?
It sounded lively for a game that was in the 40s. It was like the Meadowlands kind of weather, and the fans were into it. And the ballpark, it felt like Shea Stadium years almost.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you have Max Scherzer flirting with that no yesterday. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I started getting these visions in my head of, Max shutting these guys down on a cold April night.
I've got to ask Bobo, have you gone home since the home opener last Friday? You've been to every game. Do you live there? Do they provide a cot for you at Citi Field to sleep on?
I live in Mass, but just by luck, I've been invited to a couple of games, the home opener. So I've been lucky to be at a couple of games so far. This is going to be technically the fourth game. I'm going to count the doubleheader as a 10 game. So technically,
okay.
Fourth game so far this year.
And how far away are you from Citi Field?
I'm in around Mass, but I take a bus and a subway to get here.
Okay.
That's a lot of dedication too.
I've got to get out there. I don't think I've been to Citi Field since 2015 because I just, you know, I still watched most of the games or caught, you know, games I couldn't watch on TV on the radio. So my fandom is still there. But as far as spending money on the team, I don't think I've been to a game since 2015, 2016 when Terry Collins was the manager, when they had those 2 great years, because then it's just been downhill since 2017, 2018. So I will be there at Citi Field at some point this year.
To get you out there, me and my co-host Robert, and you definitely got to join co-host Robert.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely. That would be a hell of a trio out there at Citi Field, tearing things up down there. And you know, one last time, Kevin, I just want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. I want to give one more plug because it's such a great event. The 25th anniversary. There we go. IWF, loud and proud. The Nutley Rally for Life. Do yourself a favor, pick these tickets up, campiwf.com. We'll have all the details and links that you want in the description to check it out here on the video on YouTube. So please check this out. It's for a great cause, and you're getting a lot of bang for your buck, no doubt about it. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks. And myself, along with Tony Atlas, former WWE superstar Nunzio, Dark Oracle Sage, we're going to see you this Saturday in Nutley. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And have a good night.
You too.
All right. And that was the great Kevin Knight, the Master of Chaos, one half of the IWF Tag Team Champions. Really can't thank Kevin enough for coming on. What a fantastic first guest for the B-Sith podcast, right, Dan?
Yep, we made history right there. Our first guest. This show will forever be remembered.
You're right about that. And a great guest, you know, a great guy with obviously all his charitable work that he's done and just everything else. A great wrestler and a great Mets fan. So, you know, let's hope the Mets go on a little bit run here, and we'll have Kevin on a little bit down the line to talk some Mets, talk some wrestling, and you know, anything else that's going on in the world at the time of sports. But you know, Dan, so right now Dan currently is at Citi Field enjoying this Met game, taking it in. Yeah, give everybody a little you know, a little view there, Dan.
Yep, that's right. I'm over here I'm in the 31 Club area, Citi Field.
The 31 Club, right? Okay.
Yep.
All right, very cool, very cool. And currently, right now, our Mets are losing 5-0. Chris Bassett had his first kind of rough day. You know, this is bound to happen, you know, especially against a good team like that. So you can't really get on Bassett too much for this. It'd be nice to see this offense wake up, but you know, in this game. But right now, also, Rendon is a pretty good pitcher. You know, especially as a lefty too. What do you think, Dan? You think the Mets are gonna get a little comeback for us tonight?
I think we have a little comeback. Hopefully, we've offered Jabu some rum, woke up bats.
Yeah, exactly. And whatever you do, you better not steal Jabu's rum.
Yep, exactly. I actually bought a replica of Jabu, by the way. I have a replica house of Jabu.
Did you really? That's awesome, man.
Yeah, because it's my favorite baseball movie. And remember last Halloween, I showed up as Rick Vaughn.
Yes, you did it at my house. Yeah, so you know, very, very cool. You know, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's Major League. It's the baseball movie Major League. You should check it out if you don't know what we're talking about.
Actually, my night before opening day tradition to watch that movie.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't watched that movie, and I think I saw it a couple of months ago, but I definitely got to watch it again because I love that. Such a great movie, one of the best baseball movies you'll ever see, no doubt about it. Young Charlie Sheen, Wesley Snipes, just a great freaking movie. So earlier too, we were talking a little bit about the Rangers and their playoffs potential and everything like that. Right now, it looks like they're going to be going against Pittsburgh in the first round. Dan, I know we got into it a little bit before. I just want to wrap up right now. How crazy is it these last couple of games where the Rangers have just been shutting people out left and right? I mean, two of them have been Igor Shesterkin. Georgiev got the other one. I know they weren't against the greatest teams, but still, to have 3 consecutive shutouts in the NHL is the first time the Rangers have done that since 1973. So it's pretty impressive feat. What do you think about that?
I feel like this team was ready to get in their playoff mindset. I feel like they're just more like, when are we going to start this thing already?
Yeah, and to a certain extent, I kind of feel that way too. I'm ready for the playoff, man. How about you?
Yup, I'm ready for that. I'm ready to get all my playoff game day snacks ready and watching this and cranking the volume on my TV up to 11.
11.
Getting that sights and sounds in the garden and probably Mr. Weekend sitting on the living room couch as always.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
I just got I'll have his Rangers jersey freshly washed, ready to go, and he'll be watching. He'll be a part of this too.
Yeah, you're right. And we got like we mentioned, Kreider and Zibanejad earlier too. But one other interesting thing we have to remember too is Artemi Panarin, who has had a couple of good playoff runs in his career with the Chicago Blackhawks and the Columbus Blue Jackets. This will be his first extended playoff run with the Rangers. He had a little mini run with the 3 games against Carolina on the play-in series from the bubble in Toronto a couple of years ago in his first year with the Rangers. But man, what?
Remember that play-in series?
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Even though that was kind of a rough one, it didn't really feel like I was watching playoff hockey because normally we'd be at a bar and something, and the bars weren't quite open late.
Yeah.
So it's like watching at home, and it didn't quite feel like all of a sudden there had been a break from hockey, and we all of a sudden go right back into like a sort of a postseason series. So didn't quite feel right.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right about that. It didn't really have that feel to it. So realistically, this is our first taste of Rangers playoff hockey since May of 2017. I believe it was 2017 when they lost to the Ottawa Senators in the second round, which that series hurts too because that was such a winnable series for the Rangers, and they just kind of let it slip through their fingers. So
my remote broke.
Yeah, from throwing it at the TV.
I had to get a new remote. But so the cable guy said, "What happened?" I said, "The last second goal we gave up." And the guy was a Rangers fan. He says, "Oh, dude, I'm a Rangers fan. We'll take care of it." So the guy at Spectrum took care of it, got the remote placed, and somehow by luck, I haven't gone through some tough things. Sports where I haven't somehow I haven't broken a remote, and somehow my TV has survived all this.
Well, so far this Rangers team hasn't given you a reason to be upset, but in the playoffs there's always going to be those tense moments. So let's just hope we can keep the control together at least for a little while. As we're coming to the end here. We're rounding third and headed for home. But I will say too, there was another thing I wanted to touch on. Obviously, we had the great Kevin Knight on. We talked a lot of Mets. We talked a bunch of Rangers. We touched on the NFL draft that we're going to be covering next week, which is going to be a lot of fun with us. But also, one thing we haven't touched on yet is the other team in town right now, the New York Yankees. As the Yankees, they're off to a hot and cold start, have all the hallmarks of 500 teams so far. I do think they're going to be better than that. I know a lot of people are down on the Yankees right now, but there have been plenty of times where we saw the Yankees stumble out of the gate and then just find it at some point in May and June and just go on a tear and start getting wins. So don't count the Yankees out yet. I don't think we should bury them. But boy, that Garrett Cole start we saw yesterday was pretty rough, right, Dan?
Yeah, Cole looked. He didn't quite look like the Garrett Cole of old.
Yeah, no, he definitely did not look like the Garrett Cole of old. Unfortunately, Garrett Cole, he had that inning, the second inning, he threw 68 pitches. Now think about this. Max Scherzer threw his 5 and 2/3 innings, his 5 innings, threw 5 innings yesterday of no hit ball. Max Scherzer threw 67 pitches. Garrett Cole yesterday in the second inning, when he got pulled after having 5 walks and just looking terrible, not being able to find the plate with a roadmap, in the second inning, Garrett Cole got pulled with 68 pitches. Garrett Cole got 5 outs and threw the same amount of pitches that it took, Max Scherzer to buzzsaw through 15 San Francisco Giant hitters yesterday. And the Yankees are going against the Detroit Tigers. Now, I know they added Javi Baez, who, adds a new dimension to that lineup. But, I mean, come on, against the Detroit Tigers in Detroit, which is a pitcher's ballpark, you'd think you'd be getting better results from your ace, Garrett Cole, than that.
Yep, exactly. You think they would be holding Detroit to a low scoring game, but it hasn't happened so far. It looks like the Yankees are going to be in an uphill battle, maybe a 4-way battle, because Tampa looks like they do good. Also, the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Yankees are not going to be, or it's not going to be a walk in the park for the Yankees this year, it looks like.
No, you're definitely right about that. It's definitely not going to be a walk in the park, as the Yankees. I think you nailed it, man. They're in an uphill battle right now. You know what though? I think this kind of works a little bit in the Yankees' favor. Not that I think that it's going to make them win the division or anything this year. I still don't think they're good enough to win the division, but I think it's good for them that they have a lot of pressure off them right now. And I mean, I know that's kind of crazy to think, the New York Yankees, but if you really think about it, especially with the way they've started, nobody's expecting anything out of the Yankees now. I know Yankee fans are completely
filming something right now. Hold on.
What's that?
Never mind that. A fan of the show recognized my voice. I'm filming a podcast right now. Yeah, I'm filming Back in the House podcast.
Feel free to say hello.
Watch it on YouTube. All right, hold on a second. Let me take a quick pic with the fan.
Absolutely. So, while our Hollywood fan right here, Daniel Bobo Kurlan, is taking pictures with fans, which is very cool. I mean, obviously he should do that. What's that?
That was a bit of a first time we had that.
That's cool though, man. Hey, that's the name of the game. You're a big, as Anthony would say, you're a big star. So hey, if any fans around, feel free to take a picture with them, Dan, because you're a man of the people.
Yep,
So.
exactly.
So very cool. And actually, you know what? While we're on that, real quick, I know whatever I was just talking about, I completely forgot about already. It's about Garrett Cole anyway, and the Yankees stinking, so it doesn't matter. But what I really do want to do before we got to get out of here, we're going to wrap it up a little bit early today. I do want to say, Dan, how great is it, the support that we've gotten on social media and on YouTube, and from all the people who have been checking out our podcast? It's been nothing but positive reviews. We gained so many subscribers last week, and I think in part it's because of your really awesome appearance on the Chip Chipperson podcast, which I watched on Patreon, because since I am a Patreon member of Mr. Chipperson, and that was such a fun performance. What was it like being on with Chip?
It's a lot of fun being on that show with Chip. I have a lot of fun being what I call a character version of myself. When I just love the nature of the show. Kind of gave me the idea to just come up with some of the most outrageous, off the wall version of myself.
Exactly, man. And it was a lot of fun watching you do it. You know, just like you even heard Zia and whatever Amy's saying in the background.
Yep.
You know, saying the chemistry that's going on between Bobo and Chip, and they were right, man. You guys have known each other for years, so it was just really, really funny and entertaining watching that. You know, if you don't already, check out Chip Chipperson on Patreon and subscribe to his YouTube. It's Jim Norton doing a hilarious, amazing character. So
Show some support to the Chipper. He's been
yeah.
he's been doing this for over 30 years.
He's been doing this for, I think I know how to do radio, okay? So yeah, very, very true. Very cool. Go subscribe, buy a t-shirt, go to chipchipperson.com, check out all that stuff, because give a little cake to the Chipper, right? I mean, come on.
Exactly.
You know, so very cool. And you know, thank you for plugging me on there too. That was very nice of you, Dan, and very nice of Chip to allow that. So very cool. You know, and also one last time before we get out of here, because we're running low on time. Kevin Knight, thank you so much for being on today. What a great guest, right, Dan?
Yep, what a great guest. I was thrilled when I got the news that we got Kevin Knight to come on our show. I was talking to Kevin Knight and he was down for it, and I was like, this is epic.
It definitely is.
We got Kevin Knight, and I hope we can get Kevin Knight out to a game. That would be, I cannot think of a better trio to have at Citi Field than the three of us.
That would be so fun to go to a game with you and Kevin Knight. I mean, obviously, me and you have been to many games before, but it would be so cool to go there with Kevin Knight too. And you know, also too, I want to, because obviously we wouldn't even know Kevin Knight, you know, personally, if it wasn't for the great East Side Dave, right, Dan?
Yep, I got to give a big shout out to all the East Side Dave crew. I still talk to all of them. Dave, Roy, Big A, Bobby Tamburo, who's still at Compound Media, also Andrea, also Flute C, and of course even frequent appearances by Sean O'Barry would often appear. We got to give acknowledgement, and of course Stevie Lou. Got to say on Stevie Lou.
No doubt about it. The great Stevie Lou, who
they're just a wonderful group of people, and I hope we can all get together and do maybe a reunion party or something.
No doubt about it. And you know, Dave has a lot going on these days too. He actually, speaking of the great Stevie Lou, just had him on the Davey Mac Sports Show, or whatever, Davey Mac Sports Program. I know it used to be called that, but just Davey Mac Sports now. Check that out on you know, YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes, everything like that. Dave put out another great episode. He did one with Flutzy last week. So, and obviously, Dan, you were the guest before that. So feel free to check that out. It's great seeing him get the regulars back on again. Always love Eastside Dave. Follow him on Twitter. Check him out on YouTube, Eastside Dave TV. And obviously, one last time, the IWF. Check them out. IWF Loud and Proud. The Nutley Rally for Life. Check it out. 25th anniversary. You really can't ask for much better than that. And Dan, with that, do you have any closing words?
Of course, I gotta say thank you, Kevin Knight, for doing our show, and we're gonna have an even more epic show next week. The NFL draft, our NFL draft special is next week. Also, follow me on Twitter, Bobo103NYC. It's Daniel Kurlan on YouTube. It's one word. Also, Bobo718DK on Instagram. There's plenty of content at all three. and there's even some more stuff coming up in the works.
No doubt about it, man. And I think that just about does it for us. Thanks again for tuning in. We really appreciate all your support. Check us out on all of our social media, and we'll catch you next time.